Here we are at the Mason-Dixon line, fixing to start from Pennsylvania and hike to Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Try to shoot some video along the way, catch the good stuff. So, all right, get going. All right, just hiked up from the Mason-Dixon line, headed south to West Virginia. So, wish us luck. We'll need it. All right, just hiking down the trail here outside of Penmar Park. Hopefully we'll come across some trail markers. I'll be able to show you what how the trail's marked. With little white marks on the trees. I mean, this part of the trail's pretty obvious, but some spots it is not obvious. You got to really watch for your markers or you could really get off trail quick, especially when we get up down here where all the oh, sorry, that's my hiking app telling me my elevation gain. Yeah, when you get down to the rock area where there's not a clear path, you've got to really pay attention to those tree markers. And sometimes on the stones themselves, the rocks, will have the markers painted on the rock. Man, without those, you could really get off trail. It's still pretty early here, probably a little bit after 7. I think we got started, I would say right at 7 o'clock. There at the Mason-Dixon line. Walked up to Penmar Park. We're just right outside of Penmar Park. It's 3 miles to High Rock. Here we go. We're coming up on a trail marker now. Kind of hopefully get it in the shot where you can see the trees. Sorry if the video's kind of shaky. I got you mounted to my pack here. Not sure if you can see those white markers, but that's how the trail's marked. So I'll record some more when we get up here, getting closer to High Rock, so we can see quite a bit of rocks and boulders we got to go through. Kind of a pretty tough part of the hike. I mean, it's all tough, but once you make it to High Rock, it's kind of more just elevation. Trails kind of like this, not as rocky. So I'll record some more in a minute. All right, here we go, guys. Trying to kind of get into some of the rougher part of the trail. At least some of the trees are marked. Not sure if you can see that, but this is the terrain headed up towards High Rock. Not too bad yet, but it's pretty much going to be this until we get up to the plateau. It just kind of is what it is. Pretty rocky. As you can see ahead, you get to where some of the rocks are painted. Just, I mean, make sure you're not just looking at the ground there. But pretty rocky. So just steady as we go. Keep her moving. But you can see how the rock's painted. Then we got to go up to the tree and then up in the woods. So I'll come back when we get through this to High Rock. I don't want y'all to hear me huffing and puffing. All right, here we are. This is kind of what we're hiking through. You kind of see the markers. You can see the marker way down there. So we got to get all the way through all this before we get up to High Rock. I'll get back on when we get High Rock. drink some water, look over the overview. But this is kind of what we're hiking through. So I just got to follow the markers. Well, still on our way up to High Rock, but just getting a look at this terrain. We're up here pretty high now, but just continuing on. Pretty rocky. It is challenging. All right, made it to High Rock. All the awesome graffiti. So go up, check it out. Looks like they put some rails up. Looks like they got some new cameras. So go up and check it out. That's a good hike to get up here, man. It'll wear you out. It will wear you out. Hopefully we can make up some time on the rest of our hike. Get kind of caught up. It took us a little over 2 hours to get here, which is only 3 miles. So, I mean, almost 1 mile an hour, but just trying to be safe. Do it the right way. Awesome view. All right, we're here at Raven Rock Shelter. Just stopped to get some lunch. As you can see, the shelter has a place inside where you can sleep. There's also a place down the trail here just a little bit where you can set up tents. But the inside of the shelter, you just throw down your mat and your sleeping bag. There's a upstairs, downstairs. That's pretty basic. I believe around the corner, out in the back is a, if you can see it right down there, is an outhouse. Pretty basic, just a shelter. We just stopped to have a little lunch. About to get back on the trail. Got like 4.8 miles to, there's the fire pit, Ensign Cal shelter, which will be going on from that, going on to Pogo. But yep, pretty basic little campground here. Little fire pit, some benches. I'll try to get back on and film it whenever we get to Ensign Cal, show you that shelter. All right, we're back on the trail. All right, guys, here's some of the trail after leaving Raven Rock, eating lunch. Not as rocky. I mean, there's still rocks, but it's not, you know, boulders. Seems a little bit more of a smooth trail. Just trying to make it nice and steady. I think we probably got a little under 5 miles to Ensign Cal, and then I think we'll have maybe 4.8 miles from there to Pogo. We're going to try to make it to Pogo for camp tonight. That way we can continue with our 15-mile-a-day pace to make it into Harper's Ferry. But yeah, this isn't too bad. I mean, there's rocks, there's plenty of stuff to trip on, but overall not too bad. Kind of made up quite a bit of time after Big Rock. That was kind of brutal getting up to there. It's a serious hike. But yep, just gonna continue on. I'll get back on when we get close. I think there's a couple of roads we got to cross, a couple of creeks. Probably try to fill up with water at the creek, filter some water. So I'll do some more recording then. All right, guys. Coming out of Raven Rock, headed to the... Looks like we got to cross a road down here, but man, there's some serious switchbacks coming down out of this, off this mountain to get down to cross the road. It's pretty treacherous. Just slow, just making sure you got good footing. It's pretty rocky and lots of little gravel. So yeah, just steady as she goes through this stuff. Hopefully make up some more time, get off these switchbacks, get across the road. Of course, there's a big mountain I think we'll probably have to get back to the top of, but hopefully we can get back up there and get some little bit better hiking, get some more time. Really, it's just about trying to make it to that campground before the sun goes down. If not, we've got some alternate routes to take, some other campgrounds we can stay. It'll just add some time to our instead of completing it in 3 days, it'll end up being 4, but see how it goes. Like I said, just kind of going slow through this. It just, snakes back and forth, taking you down the mountain. So, all right, well, I'll get back on, see something else cool. Hey guys, took our packs off here. There's a little bit of a creek, got some running water down here. Gonna go ahead and top off with some water. What I'm using is I've got a Sawyer bag with the Sawyer attachment to filter the water. So you fill up the bag, screw the filter to it, and then push the water out. So just gonna cruise down here, fill this bag up, and fill up my bottle of water, set my bottle down. Just fill this bag up so I can get some more water. There's another spring about 4 miles away, but I don't want to. Last time I was by that spring, it was dry, so I'm gonna just get probably right down here where it's nice and flowing. Fill up this bag and filter some water. Probably take me 2 bags to fill up that one. I've got the 33-ounce Smart water bottle, so may take a little bit to fill it up. I'll fill this bag and then I'll get back with you when I'm putting it in the bottle. All right, guys, got my bag filled up with some water. The Sawyer filter shows you the flow direction. You just screw it right to the bottle. Make sure that you hold the edges of the bottle whenever you're screwing it on, and then you just squeeze it out into your bottle. Pretty easy. All right, guys, we made it to Ensign Cow. It's probably like 4.8 miles to Pogo, where we were wanting to go, but with the rain and the rocks being so wet, it's really slowed our progress. We both got wet socks. Had to stop here, take our shoes off, do some socks changing, but we're just gonna settle in here at this shelter, hang our food up on the bear poles after we eat, just hang out and chill. We'll just have to pound out some miles tomorrow. We'll see how it goes, but like I said, yeah, we're just gonna throw out our mats and our sleeping bags and call it good here, hang out, have a drink. And I am having beef goulash MRE tonight, so Yep, that's about it, man. We'll hit up in the morning, probably do a little filming on the rest of the trail. I think there's a pretty good hill after this, and then we'll pass into Pogo. We're going to try to pound out some miles tomorrow and get caught back up, get this thing done. All right, see you tomorrow. Well, guys, we left Ensign Cal, and I'm going to tell you that the trail is brutal leaving there. So it's like 0.2 of a mile, but there's 500-foot elevation gain within 0.2 of a mile. So waking up, taking it first thing in the morning. I'm glad we waited, because a lot of these rocks would have been really slick trying to get up this hill, but boy, she's challenging. I get to the top, we'll put you back on my camping or my hiking gear, and then we'll video some more just hiking through. I think up here we hit a plateau. It gets pretty flat. Hopefully we can make up some time. Whew, kind of winded. I'm gonna tell you guys, that's no joke. I don't know if you can see how the trail goes through and down. I mean, you can't really tell from here, but kind of hit a little plateau for a little bit. But man, that 500-foot elevation gain and 0.2 miles is quite a lot. Whew. It'll make you winded, that's for sure. Good hike, good exercise, man. Oh, I'm not sure my 1,500 calorie breakfast is gonna make it here. All right. When we get to the top of the plateau, I'll get you back on the gear and we'll show some of the trail here. So, all right, guys, made it to the top of the hill there. Whew. That was a tough 1 mile. I broke a sweat pretty well there. Trail seems to be kind of leveling off, making a little bit better time. We actually made pretty good time up that elevation incline. My hiking app said we did 1 mile in 45 minutes, so I mean faster than 1 mile an hour. Still not what we need to get to our next campsite so we can break down this trip the way we want to. I mean, if we have to go till Sunday, we do, but we'd like to make it to Harper's Ferry by Saturday and just work out a lot better. We're just keeping the thoughts of a cold beer and a cheeseburger in mind when we get to Harper's Ferry, kind of keep us motivated. So, but yeah, the trail's a lot better down here. Seems like we can probably make up some, 2 or 3 miles an hour here. Not so strenuous, not straight up, should I say. So yeah, pretty good part of the trail here. Like I said, this is kind of how the trail's been the whole way. Some of it's been rocky. This is kind of the norm so far. We'll see how it gets when we get, farther in. Gonna have to stop at Pogo. Hopefully the spring's got some water. We'll filter some water, try to refill our bags, refill our water bottles. We're both carrying Melvin's carrying a 2-liter bottle of water in his backpack. I'm carrying a 3-liter, and then plus a big 33-ounce Smart Water bottle. I think we're both down to a liter of water, so we gotta fill up at Pogo. Try to find this spring, filter some water, and get back after it. So I think once we do that, I think we'll be able to make it to Washington Monument or somewhere down there. We may need some more water, probably just top off there again, just to be sure. I heard at Washington Monument there's a little hand pump, so fill up our little bags and filter some water. So yeah, pretty good. That's pretty good hiking here. starting to actually catch my breath. So, all right, guys, I'll bring you back. We'll get to the next site we can see. Not sure if you can see through the woods on the camera, but man, we're up there in elevation. You can see across to the other mountain ridges. Pretty nice, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful hike. So, yep, I'll bring you back later. Well, we still haven't made it to Pogo yet, but man, seeing that other mountain ridge over there is pretty awesome. Not sure how good you can see it with the sun blaring, but really cool. All right, bring you back later. This is the trail. Got to go up through here. Getting kind of rocky again. Be all right. All right, so that part of the trail just got through. Man, that is nothing but rocks, just like you see right there. I mean, it's just, just boulders. You're just stepping from boulder to boulder to boulder. It really slows you down. But man, beautiful view from here. I don't know if you can see the other mountaintops, kind of getting hazy now. Probably humidity from it raining yesterday, but we're on this mountain ridge, and I'm telling you, it's rocky. Looks like the trail's gonna kind of maybe get a little bit better. Still kind of rocky, so we'll see how it goes. I'll bring you back later. All right, just past Raven Rock. I believe that's what it was. Or Black Rock Cliffs. Headed down here. We should, for too long, get to the footbridge that takes us across the 40 and the 70, I do believe. It's supposed to be a footbridge, so just headed down there. Kind of lost a little bit of time filling up our bottles at the spring. Filled up our bags and our backpacks and our water bottles. So probably about 3 liters of water. Heavier now. So hopefully it got a little rocky back there a little bit. Not too bad. But hopefully the trail will smooth up. We can gain some time and get to where we need to be so we can have kind of a shorter last day getting into Harper's Ferry. That grabbing a cold beer in Harper's Ferry sounds pretty good. Need to get there. But we got one more night on the trail, so I mean at the latest we'll make it there Sunday. Hopefully we make it there Saturday. We'll see how it goes. Depends on how treacherous the trail gets, how much time we make. All right, I'll bring you back later. Well, we made it to Pine Knob shelter. Gonna eat a little lunch. Got my water boiling. About to have, let's see, beef stroganoff with noodles. Looks like if I eat the whole package, 560 calories. Most importantly, 1,540 milligrams of sodium. So should get my electrolytes. Should help out. And then we'll be headed back that way, back to the trail, and I believe we're going to cross the 40 or the 70 highway and a footbridge, so I'll bring you back later. All right, looks like we're coming on to the, I think it's the 40, and then we go across or maybe it's where the 40 and 70 join. I don't know. I just know I think it's the 40, but somewhere down here there should be a footbridge across, and I thought it was the 70. Maybe I'm wrong. It looks like there's 2 highways going by, 2 major interstates anyway. So just got to get down these stairs here. Yeah. Too bad I'm not in one of them cars just driving to Harpers Ferry. Save my feet. All right. Looks like we go under one bridge here. All right. All right. There's the interstate. So cruise down here to the footbridge cross, and then I'm not sure where our next stop's going to be, but as soon as we stop again, I'll start recording again. All right, guys. Finally made it up the big hill. Here's Washington's Monument. Walk over here and look off the edge. Oh, it's a long hike to get up here. Kind of winded. So, beautiful view. Yeah, it's beautiful. All right, I'll bring you back when I get to camp. All right, guys. Just left a little campground we stayed in. Had like 4 campsites. What was the name of that place? Dahlgren campsite. Coolest part about it, bathrooms and showers with hot water. And man, that was a very, very nice thing. I'm telling you. After 2 days of hiking, a shower was pretty nice. There was soap in there. I mean, it was perfect. So we just got on the trail. I've probably been on it maybe a quarter mile. I didn't check in last night. We got there right at dark. A little bit before dark. Got our tent set up real quick. Made our calls to our families. Made sure, let them know we made it to where we made it to. Ate dinner, and that was kind of that. So, gonna try to make it to Edwin Garvey today. I mean, if we go all the way to Harpers Ferry, it's gonna be 16 miles. After yesterday, I'm not sure I can put in another hard 16, but you never know. We'll see how we feel when we get there. And if not, that's where we'll be staying the night and then finish up the last 7 miles. Which way? On the stop sign. Oh, okay. So down the road? Yeah, I guess so. Follow the white marks, I guess. So, not sure what memorial we got here. Looks like some kind of Civil War stuff. So, with the old fence here, you know, it's kind of wild that when you're hiking through the trail, in some spots, man, there's rock walls that are, you know, 2 or 3 feet high. It kind of makes you wonder, was that a property marker, or were they building a wall to, you know, have a military position during the Civil War or what? But pretty cool stuff. All right, I'll bring you back later. All right, guys. Still on our way to Ed Garvey. Got a little bit flatter, but it's still a kind of a hindrance to get any speed. Just lots of rocks in the trail. Hopefully, I mean, we're on this mountain peak, so it is going to be what it is, just riding along the ridge of the mountain. But we're up here pretty high in elevation. I took just some photos a little bit earlier. It kind of opened up and you could see the other mountain ridges from where we were. I'll try to include those in the video, but yep, just steady as she goes. Haven't been really there for a little bit. We were getting 2 miles an hour, but kind of back down to 1.5 miles an hour just because of the terrain and lots of elevation changes. Up, down, you know, going down in the valleys between the mountain ridges, then back up. We just passed some other hikers that said it kind of levels off this way, so hopefully we'll get into some better hiking area. Well, I say better, where we can make some time up. See if we can get it done today. If we stay at 1.5 miles, we ain't gonna make it all the way today. So, all right, I'll bring you back later. Ooh, whoa. All right, guys, still headed to Ed Garvey. Seemed like a little bit smoother trail through this area, so I thought I'd film a little bit more. Still a little out of breath, but yeah, seemed like the elevation changes kind of cleared up for a minute, so try to take advantage of it and get a little bit of more speed to the hike. I believe I think we're at 6 or 7 miles. So Ed Garvey's 11 miles from the campground, and then Harper's Ferry 7 miles from there. I don't know, we'll have to check the time, see what time it is when we get to Ed Garvey. Might just try to do it all. Definitely gonna have to get some more water. Pretty much almost out of water now. Got several miles to go before we hit the next water source, which is at Ed Garvey. So I'll bring you back there, see what we decided to do. All right, guys. Oh, made it to the C&O Canal. I didn't go and get any of the Weaverton Cliffs. By the time we got there, them switchbacks, oh, they're pretty treacherous. Even coming down them's pretty rough, but there was a lot of people up there. I didn't want to be filming them, so just filmed shortly here. Got a bunch of people on the C&O Canal, so I don't want to have to ask every one of them for permission to be in my video. So, all right, we'll come back when we get to Harper's Ferry. Well, we made it. Just crossed the bridge. So, Pennsylvania to Maryland, 3 days. All right.